I'd like to ask you what you would do if you were given 3 weeks to live. What would you do differently? This happened to me. I was diagnosed with brain cancer 4 years ago, and the tumor was right in the middle of my head. And I was told, this is inoperable. You've got a few weeks left to live. Start preparing a will, getting your affairs together, saying goodbye, and write a last letter to your son. This was the hardest thing I have ever had to do. What would I do with this short time left, with this short runway, I thought to myself. And suddenly life came into really sharp perspective. I thought I was going to live forever. I think many of us feel that. I am the founder of a celebrity PR network and a published author. And dying was the last thing on my mind. I'm a mum to a beautiful boy, and I wanted to live to old age. As I got to grips with this diagnosis, I began to see life differently. If we have just a few days left or a limited time left, and let's face it, we're probably all in the same boat. We're here for a finite time. Then things need to be considered very importantly. I began to see life with a different perspective. A plan followed that involved chemo and getting everything ready for my demise. It was heavy. But I am a cheery soul, and that did help. When I was in my hospital room, and I was thinking, okay, if I have just a few days left, what do I really want to do? And I thought, I want to do things that make me happy. I want to get a manicure. I want to eat some good food. So I thought, I'm also a problem solver. I just thought, you know what, I want to do this. Why not? I got changed quietly in my hospital room to my outside clothes that I'd went to visit when I went to hospital wearing. And I waited till there was meetings going on in the ward, and I slipped out. Thought, I'm going to town. I'm going to get my manicure. I'm going to buy some great food, green juice, slip back in. No one will know. So that's what I did. I waited for the security guards to be looking the other way, hopped in the lift, went down, sunny day. Fortunately, the security guards were outside having a chat with each other. I slipped out. No one saw me. Yay, my plan was working. I went into town, and I went to my favorite manicurists. People talk about self-care and do things for yourself. I thought, hey, if not now, when am I going to do this? So I went to my favorite manicurist, getting my nails done, feeling fabulous, even though, obviously, I had this big juggernaut to look at the end of my tunnel. And weirdly, my best friend walked in, and she walked in to get her nails done. We often went in there together. And she came in, she saw me, Susie, what are you doing in here? You're meant to be in the hospital. And she dragged me back again. And of course, we had to slip back in incognito. We didn't get caught, went in the lift. She chatted to the guards. I went up to my room, slipped in again. And I made a habit of this. I was running away a lot. Felt really good. Because when you have a short time left to live, you know what? You focus on, let's have a good time. Let's do what we really want to do. That was the first thing that I learned. So during this immensely, let's say, pressurized period, more so for the people around me, because I was kind of in a higher cloud at the time, just, CBD oil, meds, pressure in my brain. I was quite happy with life. And everyone else I could see my family, they were suffering. My brothers, saw their little sister and thinking, and I had this enduring optimism that frankly was annoying the hell out of all the people around me. Their eyes would roll when I said, when I get out of here, I'm going to go to the beach, see my friends in Ibiza, have a great time. And their eyes would roll, thinking, oh, bless her, or she's mad. All of these things. But for me, this is the great way to keep yourself buoyant. I'd read the books. I know that being happy, being strong, being hopeful, imagining good things, help create a better world for yourself and your reality. I decided that I wanted to share my new perspectives of the world, and I thought, how shall I do this? I'd been a celebrity PR for many years, done hundreds of press conferences for very famous people. So what did I do? I was in my bed and I thought, I'm going to call a press conference. Brilliant, Suze, brilliant. And that's what I did. I sent out to all my contacts across the world, come to this incredible press conference. It's going to be in Ibiza, the Montesol Hotel, actually, I chose. And come and see me. And we're going to talk about really deep lessons that I've learned on this little journey I have left. So a lot of people were invited. My very sweet, lovely assistant got wind of my latest escapade. She didn't hear about me running off constantly and getting caught from hospital, but she did find out about the press conference. So then she mailed out to all these many, many people around the world saying, there is no press conference. Susie's not well. She's got no hair. She's in the hospital. Do not come to Ibiza. I was kiboshed. The truth was, I was losing my marbles. And the truth was, from a very sane, grounded individual that I was, I had become this ideas monster, all these ideas flowing. I was writing books and films, and my hospital room was covered in mad handwriting with all my latest new projects. I just felt I had so many lessons to share. Today, I would love to share with you some of the big lessons I got, because they're good. And you don't have to go through this horrendous journey to make use of them. You know, it's universal. I think as a human being, there's very important stuff that perhaps we forget. Here we go. Thing one. Every day is a blank page. We are the designers, the artists, and the architects of our lives. We're the authors of our stories, day by day. Do we remember this? I don't know. But if we take life like it is a blank canvas on which we can paint bliss, joy, love, happiness, care, how about we do that? I slowed down to appreciate every moment. Because if you only have a few moments left, every moment is going to be precious. I worked that out in my madness. I asked doctors around me and the people around me, the people visiting me, I only want positive, no negatives. Don't start with your stats on how unlikely I am to get through this. And doctors were loving giving me the stats of how likely it was I was going to die. Shush! I don't want to hear that. I want to imagine my future. I want to imagine seeing my friends, going to Ibiza, getting on the beach, being in the sea. That's what I want to think about. So I forbade anyone in my close area of talking a negative game. I knew and I believed more than ever, and I believe more than ever now, our thoughts, our words, our intentions are the most powerful tools we have. So let's kick out the negativity. Let's kick out let's face facts. Someone close to me said, Suze, you've got to face facts. I'm like, no, I'm going to create my reality. So like, oh God, she's actually gone mental now. But I still maintain that I was right about that. Second thing I learned that I can share with you that maybe you want to employ in life is say the things we need to say. Say the things. Imagine you don't get another chance. My hospital door opened. A man walked in. My heart jumped up. It was a man who was very close and very important in my family. It was a man that I had been at war with for a long time. He came to my hospital. He'd heard how very ill I was. He'd heard from the others, obviously not from me, that I was going to die soon. So he came. We spoke tenderly around my bed for the first time in years. We said things to each other that we should have said years before. And as we spoke our truths to each other, like we would never have a chance to speak again, that animosity between us dissolved in a moment. There was no more war. The lesson I got, we have to speak the truth. We have to speak from our hearts. And we have to say the things we need to say. We have to find forgiveness. The next thing that really became apparent to me was friends, family, community, and how important these things are. I never really got it before. But connection is why we are here. It's why we're here today, listening to each other's stories, loving the connection. There's no phones. Fantastic. We are connected. And as human beings, we need the connection. It's why we are here. And it's in connection and storytelling that we come alive. Everyone loves a good story. Everyone loves being listened to. I'm kind of enjoying this now. Family and friends came together, and the Ibiza ethos, as you may know, or you may not know, is powerful. This sense of community here is quite extraordinary. 45 people, friends, came together on a WhatsApp, and they called themselves Team Susie. They organized me, my life, my food, my son, my house, my business. And I didn't have to do anything. I wasn't really up for doing very much, being in this hospital bed with no hair and being sick all the time and nurses running in and out. I was not really able to do anything except for the global press conferences. I thought I was really good at doing, but everything else Team Susie took care of. And in that community, in that friendship, in that kindness, where these people gave, we formed this bond that we will have forever. I have friends now that are those kind of friends that will always be in my heart. There was one particular man in my community, and I may cry just saying this, so forgive me if I do. He said, well, we had a ceremony at my house, and everyone said the kind of impact that I'd had on them. And this ceremony was just before I flew off to get my treatment. And so everyone was it was a bit like attending my own funeral, which was lovely and heartbreaking at the same time. One man said, as we were going around and people were saying what they could offer, one man said, I will take care of your son. No matter what happens, I will look after him. Well, to have that kind of friendship and solid grounds, community, changes everything. And when I'm saying let's encourage our deep friendships, our deep kindness to each other, and deep community, it's so important. And we live busy lives, and often it gets like this. Let's not do that. Let's really realize the power of this. This community kept me going in my darkest hours, and I had a lot of dark hours. Knowing this community was there, always available to help me, they had one goal, and that was to keep me alive. They did a really good job. Here I am.